this is Julian Warren, February 5th, 2019. This message is actually directly to YouTube and any of their affiliates with the new rules you have passed that further your censorship of conservative viewpoints, labeling certain ones as conspiracy theories, and your announcement that you're going to suppress those videos in your search algorithms. I've put the disclaimer in each one of my videos, but I think it's time that people stand up to this, that we all have rights to have opinions, and I don't think that liberals or Democrats shouldn't be able to have YouTube channels and have people freely see them. In your new press release, dear YouTube, one of your things was 9/11 conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. So how do you define that? Is anything but the main narrative that was given to us on 9/11? Because you have certain things like the Union of Concerned Scientists who finally got into court with absolute evidence, leaving alone all the other evidence, the existence of thermite in the wreckage of the 3 buildings that came down on 9/11. The presence of thermite there is only explained by demolitions or military explosives. That's evidence, that's fact, that's truth, that's not conspiracy. I digress. I just put YouTube on notice that any attempt to suppress this channel is a clear violation of United States Code, 42 USC 1985. I believe it is Section 3, conspiracy to deprive me of rights and privileges afforded to me by the Constitution or applicable federal statutes, namely my right to free speech, my right to redress any possible grievances I may have with the government and use this public platform to do so. Also, if in any of these videos or the linked videos in which I have put in my description, if those are suppressed and they are discussing crimes or possible crimes, it'll be construed as aiding and abetting, which is a violation of, oh boy, what is it? 18 USC 2? Is it USC 2? That would be construed as you aiding and abetting said crime by suppressing the free discussion of it, and you can be held criminally liable for the latter and civilly liable for the former. It's time for American citizens to fight back. It's time to take our country back. This really is our country. It's not our politicians' country. And it's sure as hell not you media giants' country, okay? You started all these social media platforms. People can go look at LifeLog and what that was. And if you want to find out some history behind Facebook, please remember the term LifeLog, a Department of Defense program. I digress again. A little upset this morning. Reading some of the new censorship of views. So I figured I'd make a video. I put the disclaimers in the description of all the videos. I had a couple other YouTube channels, and I put that disclaimer in the description, but as well as it being time to speak up about things like aborting full-term babies or killing the infants right after they are born. We're allowed to discuss these things. And any discussion about crimes that could have possibly been committed by high government officials, high business officials, up to and including YouTube and Facebook.com, should be able to be discussed freely. Any intentional conspiracy to suppress videos discussing these crimes in algorithms is construed as aiding and abetting said crime, by suppressing the people's right to discuss these things. So, YouTube, you guys are messing up there. What do you define as a conspiracy theory, YouTube? Why don't you make a public announcement? Why doesn't somebody get on a press conference over there at youtube.com? And why don't you explain to me what a conspiracy theory is? Please define that for me. What's a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory would have been that the government was collecting metadata on all of us, I would assume. Even when John Brennan, or was it Clapper? I believe it was Clapper, testified in front of Congress that there was no metadata being collected on American citizens. So if at that time we would have been discussing metadata on American citizens, is that a conspiracy? Oh, but we all found out they were. So Clapper lied to Congress, and actually metadata was being collected on Americans. So clearly that was not a conspiracy theory. The official story of 9/11 being disputed by individual citizens such as myself is also being disputed by experts, scientists, professionals in the construction industry, demolition industry, the Union of Concerned Scientists. Their case finally just got into U.S. District Court after a decade. They finally let it in. I wonder why that is. Well, it's because people are going to be held accountable for the crimes that they committed against our country. The treasonous and seditious crimes, the human rights abuses and corruption, people are going to be punished for that. And we should have an ability to freely discuss these things. Yeah, definitely take issue with your label of conspiracy theory, YouTube. What is a conspiracy theory? Please define that for us, YouTube. Stop using vague community guideline violations. YouTube and Facebook, step up. Why don't you tell the American people, just admit it, just come out and say it, that you are actively targeting conservative sites and suppressing them in your algorithms for search results. You could just come out and tell the truth about that, YouTube. So anyways, my tirade is over. I hope if anybody else but YouTube.com or somebody from Facebook had to endure my morning diatribe, that you'll forgive me. But things are just going nuts in this country, guys. It's time to wake up. It's time to educate ourselves. It's time to speak up, take action, and to take our country back. It is we, the people. Those people in Washington, if they did commit crimes, such as possibly selling nuclear tip mortars to moderate rebels in Syria, crimes like that, that would be a crime. That would be aiding and abetting an enemy of the United States in a time of war. That is a very serious crime. That crime is punishable by death, as it is treason. It's a very serious crime. So you're suppressing any videos, YouTube.com, that speak about the possibility of President Barack Obama's administration selling these nuclear-tipped, highly secretive mortars to moderate rebels in Syria, which were actually ISIS fighters. You're a principal under 18 U.S.C. 2. You're a principal in that crime of treason. So be very careful on your conspiracies to to silence a certain part of Americans, because we're not going to go quietly. It's time to it's time for us little people to take action, to take the blinders off, to stop being subdued by the box on the wall and the poisoned food and poisoned air and poisoned water and pharmaceuticals and everything else that dumbs us down. The fluoride in the water that calcifies our pineal gland, our spiritual center. Anyways, whew, got that off my chest. Now I feel better. Who else feels better? Everybody have a wonderful morning, and I am so looking forward to the State of the Union tonight, because besides the insanity attacking from some parts of our country, I think our union is good, and I think we have much opportunity right now, but we have some very serious things culturally that we need to figure out. So everybody have a wonderful day. I wish everybody well.